You're lying in bed at 2 in the morning, the blue light of your phone illuminating a face that looks tired, not just physically, but spiritually. You scroll past a guy your age closing a real estate deal. You scroll past a girl you went to high school with posting photos of her new house. You scroll past a 20 under 20 list, and suddenly the air in the room feels heavy. It's that familiar cold knot in your stomach, that nagging, persistent whisper in the back of your skull that says, "You're behind." You feel like you're running a race where everyone else got a head start. The track is made of sand, and your shoes are tied together. You're panting, gasping for air, looking at the backs of people who seem miles ahead of you, wondering where you took the wrong turn. But I'm going to tell you something that might hurt before it heals. The race is a ghost, and you are losing to a phantom. The reason you feel behind isn't because you've failed. It's because you're living in a hallucination. You've accepted a timeline that wasn't written by you, but by a society that profits off your insecurity. They want you to feel behind because a man who feels behind is a man who buys things to catch up. He buys the course, he buys the car, he buys the validation. But the Stoics, 2,000 years ago, saw this trap from a mile away. Marcus Aurelius didn't have Instagram, but he had the same crushing weight of expectation. He knew that the feeling of being behind is simply the gap between your reality and a story you've been told to believe. Let's look at the timeline. We are taught that life is a series of checkpoints. Degree by 22, career by 25, marriage by 30, wealth by 40. If you miss a checkpoint, the alarm goes off. You start to panic. But who built these checkpoints? Not nature, not the gods, not the universe. If you look at a forest, does the oak tree feel behind because the bamboo grew 30 feet in a month? Does the moon feel behind because the sun is brighter? Of course not. Everything in nature moves at its own pace, governed by its own internal logic. You are the only creature on Earth that looks at another of its kind and decides its own existence is a failure because of a difference in speed. This is what Seneca called the brevity of life. He argued that it's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. We waste it by living in the future, waiting for the checkpoints, or living in the past, mourning the time we think we lost. When you feel behind, you are literally leaking your life force into a dimension that doesn't exist. You are not in the room. You are not in your body. You are in a mental projection of a better you who did things differently. And while you're busy visiting that ghost, the real you is decaying. The fix isn't to work harder. It's not to wake up at 4 a.m. and grind until your eyes bleed. That's just trying to run faster on the same fake track. The fix is to step off the track entirely. You fix it instantly the moment you realize that behind is a direction that doesn't exist in the present moment. Think about it. If you are standing in the middle of a field, which way is behind? It's wherever you decide to turn your back. To fix this, you must adopt the Stoic concept of the internal citadel. You need to realize that the only person you are ever in competition with is the person you were yesterday. I know, it sounds like a cliche you'd see on a motivational poster, but look deeper. If you improve by just 1% today, if you read one page, do one push-up, or master one single emotion, you are technically ahead of your former self. And in the universe's eyes, that is the only metric that matters. Every other comparison is a form of self-torture. You are comparing your behind-the-scenes footage with everyone else's highlight reel. You see their trophy. You don't see the rotting wood inside the pedestal. You feel behind because you are addicted to the outcome. You want the result, the finish line, the gold medal. But the Stoics taught us to focus on the process. Epictetus once said that no great thing is created suddenly any more than a bunch of grapes or a fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer you that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. If you are in the blossoming stage, why are you angry that you aren't yet ripe? It's a violation of natural law. You are demanding that the universe skip the chapters that are supposed to build the character required to handle the ending. Imagine if you were given everything you think you're behind on right now. The millions, the house, the perfect partner, the fame. If you haven't built the mental muscle of a Stoic, those things would destroy you. You see it every day. Lottery winners who go bankrupt, child stars who spiral out of control. They weren't behind, they were ahead of their own maturity. The delay you're experiencing isn't a punishment, it's a training ground. It's the universe giving you the time to become the version of yourself that can actually carry the weight of your dreams. So, how do we fix this instantly? You perform a mental reset. Right now, wherever you are, acknowledge that the timeline is dead. Burn it. Rip it up. You are exactly where you are supposed to be because, logically, you couldn't be anywhere else. Every choice you made, every circumstance you faced, led to this exact microsecond. To fight against that is to fight against reality itself, and that is a fight you will lose 100% of the time. The instant fix is to stop looking at the horizon and start looking at your feet. What is the very next thing you have to do? Not next year, not next month, in the next 10 minutes. Is it washing the dishes? Do it with the focus of a Zen monk. Is it writing an email? Write it with the precision of a surgeon. Is it just breathing? Then breathe. When you collapse your focus into the now, the concept of being behind vanishes. You can't be behind in the present moment. You can only be here. Most people spend their lives in the waiting room, convinced that life only begins once they hit a certain milestone or paycheck. They think happiness is a destination they haven't reached yet. But the Stoics knew better. The waiting room is the life. This struggle, this 2 a.m. uncertainty, this is your arena. It's easy to be a Stoic when you're winning. It's when you feel like a loser that your philosophy actually matters. Stop apologizing for your pace. The people you're comparing yourself to are just as terrified as you are. They've just mastered the mask. Don't die climbing a ladder that goes to infinity. Step off and enjoy the view. Here is your directive. From this moment on, judge your success by your effort, not your position. If you gave your best today, even if that best was just surviving, you have won. The world will keep flashing lights at you, trying to lure you back into the race. When it does, smile. Recognize the trick. A king obsessed with another king's crown is just a servant in disguise. You are the author here. If Chapter 3 takes 10 years, that is your right. The only clock that matters is the one that leads to the end of your life. Honor it by being present, not by hurrying. Fix your mind, and the world fixes itself. Stop running. Start being. You aren't behind, you're right on time. Stay focused, stay disciplined, stay stoic.